Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's RISMedia webinar. We're excited to have you here today. I'm Verl Workman, founder and CEO of Workman Success Systems, and I'll be moderating today's call. As we get into our content today, I first want to let you know that we've got amazing presenters, and between the two of them, listing and selling almost 1,000 houses a year in 2019, you're in for a real treat as they share with you the inside secrets of how to really become a listing master. And so we're excited to introduce our presenters to you. But before we do that, let me just give you a couple of housekeeping items. The first one is, if you have questions during the webinar, I'm monitoring questions. And so if you'll go to the questions and answers section and just type in a question, you can say, "Hi, Verl, I'll see you here." Marie's got voice distortion on her end. Hopefully we can get you so you're calling in on a phone instead of your computer, because sometimes the bandwidth does that. We will be emailing out a recorded call of this, so you'll have an opportunity to do that. I'm also going to encourage you all to stay on till the very end. As you stay on to the very end, we're going to have some valuable downloads and some free giveaways from both of our presenters today that I think will help you as you get you ready for your 2020 plans. I hope you're all excited as we come into the final RISMedia webinar for 2019. We wanted to make sure that we had great content, we had amazing presenters, and as always, we have a great partner. And I want to welcome Homes.com. It's because of our great partners like Homes.com that we're able to put these webinars on every single month. Today we have Christian Misthos with us. He's an educational speaker. He's a sales manager for Homes.com. He's been with them since 2016, which I was at Homes.com way before you, Christian, so I don't know if you know that, but way back in the late 90s I was there. Prior to Homes.com, he worked in the NBA for the LA Clippers, and in the NFL for the San Diego Chargers, where he managed key accounts and corporate sponsors. So what a good gig that is. I want to hear more about that. He's got a bachelor's degree from California Lutheran University, where he was also a member of the baseball team. Now he currently lives in San Diego. Now I got to tell you, Christian, I was just in San Diego last week, and I don't know if you ever get sick and tired of perfect weather all the time?
No, I don't, Verl. I was telling Bob and Lee earlier it was 40 degrees when I woke up, and it's up to around 60, which is considered our winter. So very fortunate to live here. And I did not know that you worked for Homes.com, so awesome to hear that. And I appreciate you having me on today.
Well, we're happy to have you. Homes.com bought one of my companies, and we did a great job of launching a lot of their big platforms in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was a lot of fun. We had a blast, and there's still some of our great friends at Homes.com. Christian, we have a couple of, let me just share with everybody who our presenters are going to be today. We have Lee Tessier. Lee Tessier comes to us from Maryland, from Bellevue, Maryland, or Baltimore, Maryland area. He's a 35-year native of Baltimore. He's been in the business for 10 years. He's worked in the sales industry for even longer than that, 25 years or more. 80% of his business it comes from referrals, but he runs an amazing business. Due to his rapid increase in 2010, the Lee Tessier team was created. His team currently consists of 22 team members. Since 2011, Lee has been the #1 agent in Hartford County. He lists and sells over 400 houses a year and over $100 million. And Lee, we're excited to hear from you a little bit later today. Welcome to the call.
Thank you.
We also have with us a man that really doesn't need a lot of introduction. This is the one and only Bob Sokoler. And Bob is the owner of the Sokoler Team with RE/MAX Properties East in Louisville, Kentucky. And Bob is not only a good man, he's also a phenomenal video guy. He's a radio TV personality that has an enormous amount of background in utilizing media to create greater opportunities for himself in real estate. And he is literally, Bob's one of the guys that I call a giver. He shares his talents and his gifts with anybody who will ask, and he's constantly helping other people. He's a 2-time Emmy award-winning journalist. He's worked as a TV anchor in Atlanta, in Baltimore, in Orlando, Salt Lake City, even in Flint, Michigan. And we're excited to have Bob with us to share the inside secrets of how to becoming a listing guru as well. Bob, we're looking forward to hearing from you here in just a couple of minutes.
And Verl, I notice I need to give you an updated picture because the one that you're showing right now probably is 10 or so years old. So isn't that what any age?
I would keep it. You look good, man. You look good.
Better there than I do in person. Yeah, I know.
I like to say we don't get older, we just gain equity, but that doesn't help my photographs.
I'm with you 100%.
So let's jump in, Christian, if you don't mind. As we jump in, give us a little bit of a snapshot of what Homes.com's been up to, and share with our audience some of the things that Homes.com is doing. Let's just give a quick overview.
Yeah, let's do it. Thank you, Verl. So as we're going into 2020, people are, thinking about what they're going to be doing for their marketing plan. And really what we do is we have consumers come to our site to get a hold of real estate agents to help them represent them or to look for that next home, right? It's a great time as we're going to 2020 to think about their marketing plans. 76% of the traffic we get are not yet working with an agent, and 59% plan to move in the next 6 months. Which obviously is, more of a quality consumer, not just looky-loos. Some ways we do that are through our solutions. One is Local Connect. Simply put, it's a lead generation program that allows you to brand yourself in the desired markets you like to work, get potential CMA requests, direct phone calls, we're click to call on mobile. On both platforms, very easy to get in contact with agents when people are looking in the desired cities and zip codes that you guys like to farm. And next, we have City Sponsor. This is more of a brand awareness and exposure platform where you can showcase your brand and your listings up to 6 in a given area that the consumer is searching for. If we go to the next slide, Verl, what's great is it's a way to also differentiate yourself. You're able to customize this branding where online, it's a sea of sameness, right? We want to get people to be enticed to reach out to you. So putting a tagline, you're a realtor for life, works with veterans, bilingual agent, anything to stand out and differentiate from your competition. This platform does just that while listing your listings as well.
I love that. Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah, please.
So just while you're on this, so I love the customizable branding and the ability, and you mentioned using your unfair competitive advantage or something to stand out. What kind of taglines have you seen that really make a difference that actually work?
Something catchy, either whether it's, something like, hey, this is Christian, I'm going to, sell your home in 30 days or less, or if you want to go with something, like I mentioned, works with veterans, top award winner in, the San Diego market, which is where I'm located. Anything at all to differentiate, get people to get enticed to click on you, is going to go a long way. And then with that, we have also this solution called Lead Concierge, where we know that speed is the name of the game, right? Especially, online, our attention spans are so bleak. So while agents are out there, qualifying and working with buyers and sellers, this allows us to qualify the leads that come through so that you'll miss out on any opportunities. And it's done so in more of a smooth conversation. We don't interrogate, the consumer with, question after question after question. We let the conversation move smoothly. So it's more of a seamless transition as opposed to the consumer thinking they just went through, a round of 20 questions.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And I think it's so smart that Homes.com has put somebody in the middle so that the consumer gets higher served. So the concierge service, I think, has been a missing component for a lot of our higher volume lead platforms. And so congratulations on doing that. And I love to see the innovation, the things that have been happening with Homes.com. If you haven't checked out Homes.com recently, it's probably time you got back into it and really looked at what they're doing for their agents around the country. We have a lot of people that have tremendous success using Homes.com as a platform.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Verl.
Thank you, Christian. And please stay with us as we go through the call today. If you have questions and you want to engage with our presenters, I encourage you to just be a co-moderator with me as we go through and learn how to take it up a notch with our listings. I learned a long time ago that if you really want to last in real estate, that you need to be able to list more. And I've always said that I'm going to mute a couple of people. We're getting some funny background noise. If you list more properties, for every listing you get, you should close 1.5 buy-side transactions. And so agents who really have great businesses have a high-level focus on listings. And one of the best listers that I know in the country is our friend Bob Sokoler. Bob, thank you for being here. I really appreciate your engagement on the call today. I'm getting a couple messages that the audio is not very clear, so I'm going to move off of a phone and do a different headset. Let's see if that helps a little bit. Is that audio a little bit better for those of you that are hearing me? I want to make sure that we have the best quality audio.
Yeah,
okay, very good. Pete says much better. All right, Bob. Well, Bob, welcome.
Hey,
Verl,
good to
tell
be
us
here.
a little bit about your team. Yeah, tell us a little bit about your team and your business.
Yes, so, and I started as a single agent who joined a two-person team back in 2004, and then took over the team, bought the team from the owners, the originators, and then moved it forward. And then went to a lot of conferences. That's where Lee and I met back in 2007. We became fast friends, and we have a great network of friends, including many who are in the Workman coaching program. So we basically put ourselves out there on a monthly basis to try to meet with other top agents, share ideas. So having this webinar, this type of a webinar, does wonders for anybody who is looking to increase their volume, whether it be on the buying side or selling side. We have 22 agents.
What do you think? Yeah, go ahead. 22 agents?
22 agents will do about 350 sales this year. We're down this year only because we don't have enough listings to sell. That's been our big problem. We're trying to beat the bushes, so to speak, to bring in more potential sellers. One of the things that is probably the number one key for anybody who is in real estate is to remember that your least expensive lead to acquire is a past client, especially if they've had a great experience with you. So what we do on a monthly basis is every month we send out postcards. On the screen you're seeing on the left side, the 3 past postcards and videos that we've sent out. So the videos go hand in hand. The postcards were, this one particular one was our pie giveaway, reminding people that it was coming up, and then we did a proof of performance with the pie the giveaway itself. We have videos. Everywhere we go, everywhere I travel with my wife Sandy, we shoot video. Much to her chagrin, sometimes she doesn't want to be on camera, in which case I don't put the camera on her, but I'm constantly shooting videos, and turn those into basically reports about what we're doing, where we are, but also giving value in what the market is doing in Louisville and Southern Indiana, and helping to keep those people who are watching up to date on the latest activities of what's going on in our area for real estate. So, yeah.
So, Bob, for someone who follows you on social media, it looks like you guys have a lot of fun.
Well, that's the goal. And one of the things I don't think I put here, but I want to push out to everybody, one of the most, the easiest thing for you to do to gain following in social media, whether it's videos, pictures, is to do something when you're at a new restaurant. People love to talk about food, and if you can give them a reason to go out to a new restaurant, or to tell their friend, hey, I just saw something about a new restaurant that just opened up, with whatever social media platform you use, it's a perfect venue to capture potentially new buyers or sellers, and at the same time show them you're real people by sending pictures of you eating food, and as well as talking about in video what that restaurant has to offer.
Love it.
So what, again, you want me to tell you what that is? So
yeah, so Bob, you use a lot of direct mailing. So I'm going to go back to this for just a second.
Yeah.
So you're using direct mailing for like pie days, for what's going on in the community, how to prep your home to get ready for winter. It's not just an event, but I mean, how much direct mail are you actually doing?
I'm really it's a 1 postcard per month to past clients. This is the newest one that just came in today that we send out. My son Greg and his wife Casey just gave birth 2 weeks ago to our newest grandson Ari. So we put a postcard out after holidays and growing family, things like that. That's just to be warm and fuzzy, because it really is all about being warm and fuzzy. And it just gave a chance to show off that we're a family. But it doesn't need to be a family. It could be your dog, or it could be friends that you hang out with. But what we try to do is mail out postcards, mail out a newsletter or email it, and then also send out videos to past clients. Because again, when we get back to it, if you've had a good experience with a past client, keeping in contact with them and keeping you top of mind. My son Greg likes to say top of mind, tip of tongue. Here's the type of thing you want to do to continue to bring people back to you and all recommend their friends or business colleagues, because you're constantly in front of them. I know we say that a lot, and I know in a lot of conferences we all talk about it, but the key thing I think is doing it. You can talk a lot but never get it done. So what we did was, and I think that's what we've got up right now, is we have a variety of people who are working as outside people, outside employees, who will make the calls, send out the emails or letters or postcards, all in an attempt to take it off of my plate and move us forward in keeping in contact. So we're not only talking the talk, we're doing the walk, and we're doing it. And the budget doesn't have to be enormous. You can scale it up and scale it back down again based on the number of clients you have or the number of sales you're doing. So obviously, if the market tanks, you cut back. And I think that's a really good reason, so that you hire people. And I have a staff, admin people here in my office. They're full-time employees, but I've got outside people doing a lot of the work that is the making the calls to past clients, sending out the postcards. So if the market goes down or we hit a slow spot, I can immediately cut back. I don't have to fire somebody. I cut back on the people that I'm having do that work and save on the budget. And I think that's so important. I have a friend in one of my mastermind groups. She's got 3 agents. I don't know how many sales, maybe she does 75 sales, but she's got 8 admin people. And the constant funny joke that I'm constantly telling her is, you really don't need 8 in-house admin people. Farm it out, and that way when the economy slows during the winter months, let's say, you can scale back and not be paying those people for jobs you don't need to have outsourced at that time of year and hurting your budget.
Yeah, I like this. I like this particular email because it's clearly you've got Rachel at Viral Marketing reaching out to your database on your behalf and finding someone who's ready to, who's talking about buying a house. And so it's kind of a cool message you get from someone who you would have never prospected out because you don't have time to do it. It's just doing it as part of the service. Hey Bob, you've got some kind of an intermittent mic noise on your mic. I don't know what's causing it, but it's a weird buzz.
Okay, I don't know what it is, but I'll try to. I can always go to the phone if it gets worse.
Okay, sounds good right now.
Okay, good. All right, move forward. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so one of the things that we do on a regular basis, radio and TV, Lee and I are both in rate. We found that brings us back a lot of potential sellers, and if nothing else, it gets our name out there and people know who we are as we advertise. Big budget, lots of money, but at the same time, we make sure we check every single inbound lead to see where it's sourced from, because if you're spending the money and you're not tracking it, you will never know where you should be putting your money the next year. So every single dollar that we spend, we track on inbound to make sure that our ROI makes it worthwhile for us to do it. And our TV and radio have outperformed themselves year after year.
Yeah, I love that. And we're still getting that harsh audio buzz. I've got everybody else on the call muted, Bob, so it's either yours or mine.
Okay. I don't hear it from you.
So I just muted you and it went away. So
okay, all right.
So I don't know if it's there's maybe turn the gain down, your mic down. I know Bob's got a great studio where you're calling from. It's just creating some kind of a feedback that makes it hard for people to hear. And I don't want to lose any of your precious words.
Yep. I can make a call in on the phone if you want to try that.
Okay, let's keep going for now. I think we're doing okay for a minute.
Okay. All right. So what we've got up on the screen right now is more of our videos that we send out. We also do a social media. We're in the process right now of testing out something brand new, which hasn't launched yet, which is a ClickFunnels, which will bring buyers and sellers in and parse them out with videos before they get to our agents, so that our agents aren't working leads that go nowhere, that they're spending time on the ones that have potential to convert. That's something that we'll talk about down the road once we launch it officially and see what the results are. I don't want to talk about something that will cost somebody money and at the same time not be performing.
So is that you on Shark Tank, Bob, in the bottom left?
That actually, Barbara Corcoran is one of our mentors. Both Lee and I use Barbara. She uses us, but we use her. We do commercials with her, and we meet up with her a couple of times a year. But yeah, that's been a big endorsement for us helping us to promote. We have people where I'll walk in to a listing appointment and all we'll talk about is Barbara Corcoran this, Barbara Corcoran that. And I said, do you want to see what we do? And typically they say, no, if you're friends with Barbara, that's good enough for us. And we end up just signing the listing paperwork and move forward.
Is there an opportunity to do that if you don't have the money to engage a Barbara Corcoran or are there local celebrities that can give that same kind of thing? Are there other ways that we can create that kind of celebrity endorsement in our local market?
And I was just thinking, because I realized that this is a limited commodity in many cities. So what would the person who's listening to us or watching us now think? The answer is to contact one of your local radio stations, or not necessarily TV, because you won't be able to, a news person or a personality who does news isn't going to be able to represent you, but a morning show host, somebody who is well known in the community, to ask them to represent you, form a relationship, I think would be the next best thing. And now you have somebody talking about you personally, where as opposed to just doing a standard commercial.
I have a client, Bob, that she's a mom blogger, and that mom blogger influence is generating so many listing leads. It's crazy. There's 500,000 followers of other moms, and being real estate agents, we're starting to see some of that. It's kind of fascinating.
That is something. That's good to know as a potential source for. I'll have to talk to my wife about creating a mom blog.
There you go, Sandy. Be great at that. So this big video in the middle. Tell me what that's about.
So. This one, you're talking about the one on the right on my screen? Is that what you're looking at?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is part of our commercial and what we're pushing out on social media that we advertise. Interesting. We say we actually spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year promoting our listings, our team. And so what we're showing is the power of the message and where we're seen. And the goal for everybody watching us right now is to find that special part of what you do that you can bring to a listing appointment to show them how you differentiate yourselves from everyone else. That's really all it is. It comes down to making you look special in the eyes of the person who's going to sell their home, so they come to you or they hire you as opposed to your competitor. Finding that niche, finding what you do. For example, Verl, that mom blog that you just mentioned, perfect opportunity for that particular agent to show the number of followers that she has, that she's able to bring, who will see her client's listing if that client signs with her. So it's an automatic, here we are, here's what we've got, and we've got people already looking at your listing. This picture
I think it's tremendous.
Yeah, so we would dare to say we won Team of the Month for, every once in a while one or two of the other teams win, but for the most part we've been winning Team of the Month. It's funny, we're ranked pretty high in RE/MAX. My dear good buddy Lee Tessier was with RE/MAX and then left, which really was a disappointment to me because I used him as my ability, kind of a competition to try to beat him or him beat me on a yearly basis. But when he left the RE/MAX fold, I kind of lost that get up and go to go after Lee, because he's now on his own, completely on his own. But anytime you want to come back into the fold, Lee, we would be glad to have you so I can compete with you. But promoting, and then here's what it comes down to also, and I found this out the hard way. When we promote ourselves as a team, as the team lead for my group, I take a lot of pride in what I do, but I cannot forget that there are now 22 different agents, each with their own personality and also with their own ego. And so when we promote ourselves, for the most part, on a regular basis, it's so important for that team lead to promote the team in addition to themselves. Because once we lose sight of the fact that each one of these people have egos as well, and they need to be stroked on a regular basis, and you want to make them feel like they're family, the way to do that is to include them anytime you can in any type of promotional material. What you're looking on the left is that where you're going?
Hey, Bob, before you move on.
Yep.
Before you move on to teams, you said something that's really important,
Yeah.
and that was that you want to make sure that you include the team, because without them, you couldn't do the kind of volume you do. They're so important in your success.
And it doesn't matter if you have 1 or 2 or 25 agents, to bring them into the fold so they feel like they're part of the family. You'll lose fewer agents that way, and their bottom line and your bottom line will increase dramatically. The pictures you're looking at now are open houses. When we do, on the very left, we did a series of 6 open houses one weekend. We have multiple agents handling those, so we sent those out via social media to a wide variety of locations. We also do the same thing with new listings, and you'll see the one on the right side was one we put up and sold within a couple of days in a prestigious area of town. And so we try to brand ourselves with a uniqueness. It just so happens that we love the color purple, and so everything we do is purple based. You know, it could be anything you like, but stick with an idea, follow it through, along with logo, concept. We shift our logo a little bit every year, here and there. It used to be the Sokoler Medley Team, and then we changed to the Sokoler Team a couple of months ago. I had my previous partners were the Medleys. They retired out of the business 11 years ago, but I kept with them because I love them dearly, and it was an homage to them. And then we're constantly doing promotions of past of our listings, of what we've done newest listings. I think a lot of people do that. I think what's important that I learned early on is that sellers are watching you carefully to see what you do. And if they like the promotion marketing, the way you're displaying and portraying other homes that you have listed, they're going to come beating a path to your door. I will tell you, I'm working with a client right now where they came to us because of videos that we've done. They had been watching us, and they came directly to us because they felt like they knew us. This is part of a post to Instagram that my son Greg, who's obscured by the logo, that we did at a team soccer event just a couple of months ago. It was back in September. I think we hit play on that, kid. And if we hit play, if it's going to play, I'm not sure it will. That one won't. Yeah. But anyway, so
live, Bob.
Yeah, so that was a great event, and now we also have a women's soccer team and a new soccer stadium that's opening up next year. So we're really excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yep. So again, more promotion, some things that we do. We use RISMedia as among others that are out there, and it's so simple with this. It's one click. On the left is one of the postings that they sent out on our behalf. I think this one went out to Twitter, but on the right is an email that I got that you get on a regular basis. You can pick one of 3 different posts to go wherever you want, and then just click on it and approve it, and it heads out. And if you're not doing that, you got to think as inexpensive as these are, it just gives you content. Okay, great. It's not individual unique content, but not all content needs to be unique. I think there has to be some information that you can share with potential sellers and buyers to show the value in what you do and what you know as the expert in the industry.
Plus, it looks good. I mean, it just looks professional. And someone else. I mean, they're writers.
Yeah, without question, they're doing the professional side of this. Another system that we put into play, and we're still testing through our rate partners, is a digital push to Facebook leads for seller leads. I'm on the fence on this. A lot of these people are clicking on what's my home worth. They just want some basic information. They're not ready to list. I think if you decide to do a Facebook campaign, you need to remember that it's going to be months, if not years, before that campaign produces, for the most part, sellers or buyers. It's not a quick fix if you're looking to make a buck and list homes. So here's something I'm big on, and what you're looking at is my Outlook calendar from, was this yesterday or today? So
yeah, the 18th.
Yeah, the 18th. So all of those are entries for me in the morning. These are potential sellers. And what I do, and Verl, you already know about this because I talk about this and I live, breathe, and sleep this, is that we forget way too often how the person that we're supposed to contact next week or the next month. And so I have a habit. And once you have a habit of doing it, you won't forget about it. What you do is you create a calendar entry, and those are the calendar entries today. So the main line, it's basically what you're needing to do, whether it's call, text, or email, or video email. And then the second line where it says location, typically I'll put in the phone number. And so what that allows me to do, as long as you're on an Exchange server, and again, just to be clear, if you're using Google or you have your own Exchange server, it links your phone to your calendar on Outlook or whatever you're using. And what that allows me to do is I can click on my phone, make the call directly, log it on my computer, but at the same time, I'm not having to punch in any buttons. That ensures accuracy and speed. You can do the same thing for texting. And Verl, if you go to the next slide, I think I have an individual shot there. So I log every individual entry. And I know that looks like it's repetitive and a lot, and there is. I don't give up. Verl, what's the saying that you have, you'll till you die? What's the
well, Augmandino's I will persist until I succeed, but I say we follow up with them until they buy or tell you to die.
There you go. They're going to buy or you're going to die. And that kind of runs in the background of my head on a regular basis. And I have a logger, and I'm more than happy to share. Sperry software does it. It's about a $15, $20 add-on to your Outlook, and it inserts the log of what you're doing. So something anybody wants to reach out down the road, feel free. I'll be more than happy to help you on that. Happy Grasshopper, another system we use for sending out emails on a regular basis with a pre-programmed drip campaign to both buyers, sellers, Dave Ramsey leads, whatever the leads might be. They set it up, and once that's done, it works perfectly. I'm big on sending out video and texts. Click on that, and you'll see one of the videos I sent. I can't hear it, Verl, so I'm not sure you can. But I'm there with our two dogs, Chloe, and that's JJ. There we go. Maybe you can hear it a little bit. Anyway, so video texting from restaurants with your animals, with your spouse, it works and it gets people to respond. I'm moving more and more away from phone calls and moving to texts and video texts. And I think it is a big plus for all of us who are trying to make contact with a potential seller or buyer. Back to you, Verl.
How do you not love a man that loves his dog? That's all I'm saying.
Look at this, and I don't know if you can tell, that's Chloe kissing me there. That's what's so cute. What a lover, these dogs. Unbelievable. In the background,
there's no judgment there. They just love you.
No, there isn't. And then in the background, that's in one of our sitting rooms where it's all the pictures of where Sandy and I have traveled in the past year or two. So it's good.
That's awesome. Bob, thanks so much for sharing, and stay with us. Yep. I'm going to introduce Lee. Lee's probably wondering if he's going to get a chance to talk today. Lee, thanks for your patience and welcome. There you go, Lee. Now you're unmuted.
There we go. Yeah, I couldn't click on or say anything earlier since I'm muted. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I muted you because of the feedback, but it sounds like it's coming from my end, and so I'm trying to talk less so you don't get that follow-up echo. And so let's just jump in, Lee, and tell us a little bit about your team and how you're kicking butt.
All right, so we have 22 of us all together, 7 assistants and 15 agents. This year we'll sell about 485 homes, primarily listing sides. Our listing sides are about 291 for the year. And it's just, continual follow-up where Bob was saying buy or die. Basically, you just got to be consistent and persistent. And this is just, master your craft. If you're going to be really good at it, have all the tools in the tool shed, and make sure that you are practicing them every day. So live what I always say to my agents, I'm like, all right, do what I say, not as I do always, but the things that we're preaching to do, the consistency and persistency will pay off, but master your craft, make sure you're acting in a professional manner every day. Your morals are always on display. Think of when you're out and about, make sure you professionally dressed, do you look well, do you place the part? Would you want to be the one that somebody wants to list their house with? So people judge right away of what they see, not always what what's behind that curtain. So make sure you're presenting yourself well. So just master your craft more than anything. That's what this slide's all about. You can go on to the next one.
I love that. A lot of people think they can wing it in real estate, not be good at it. When you've got as many people as you do on a team, Lee, do you mind me asking, what are some of the things that you do to help them be better at the business? You know, when a client gets you, I get a master, but when I get one of your teammates, how do we make sure that the client still has a great experience or an exceptional experience? What are some of the things you do?
So we meet every morning. I don't meet with them now. My sales manager meets with them in the morning. And then Tuesday at 9 a.m. I do training with everybody from the team between 9 and 10. I'm in because I always think of leading by example. So if I'm here and I'm making my calls and doing the things I should be doing, that's one of the things. And then our presentations are all basically the same. Everybody has the same presentation folder that they're taking. Our listing admin preps a package for them with our listing book, everything that they need except for comps. So that way, everything's uniform. It's a system more than anything else. So it's like McDonald's, you know what you're getting every time. With our listings, we know that our agents are all practicing. They know what to say, when to say, how to say it. They also know how to overcome objections, make sure that people are pricing their home right, because you can list houses, but if they're not selling, that's super important. I was looking at our stats. We took 303 listings and it was 271, not 291. So we sold 271 out of the 303 listings that we took. So it's always important of pricing them the most appropriately and then marketing them like crazy and then follow up. So this slide.
Lee, how important is I was going to ask you how important the sphere of influence is, and I want you to talk about it as a team leader, but also as team members. Do you all work your sphere, and share with us the system?
Yeah, so 8651 is all about, trying to get 86 transactions out of your top 50. Top 50 would be past clients that you've done multiple transactions or referrals from. So, or who is that? Your mom could be one of your top 50. Who is it that you're calling at least once a month? And it could be 2 or 3 times a month, but are you calling them at least once a month and contacting them to see how they're doing? Not trying to sell them something. You just want to be that top of mind, like Bob talked about before. Be the one that they're thinking of when they talk about real estate. So if you're constantly talking to them on a regular basis, seeing what you can do for them rather than what they can do for you, you're going to get those referrals over and over and over again. So 80% of my own business is repeat referral. Our team business is about 62% repeat referral, but it's from doing client parties, it's doing happy hours, it's getting back in front of those clients over and over and over again so that you are top of mind. So this is our Thanksgiving pie event. There's also a video that'll play here in a little bit. As long as we can see it, we don't need to hear it. But this is our Thanksgiving pie event that started at our office. We used to do it, 11 years ago. Was just come to the office, come get your Thanksgiving pie. We had a little bit of cider and maybe water or something else to drink and cookies, and that was about it. Now it's to the point where we have a restaurant that they close down to the public. We have about 1,000 people through that night, and we go through about 525 pies this past year. We have open bar and light food, and it's an event. It's not just come get your Thanksgiving pie. It's, here a lot of our clients use it as date night, so we invite all of our past clients over and over. And again, we want to be that top of mind for that referral and be professional of, hey, so-and-so wants to sell their house, they're going to refer.
Let's see if this video will play for us. I think it will, Lee.
Before Thanksgiving, if you're a past or current client, make sure you know that you're invited to come pick up your Thanksgiving pie, and it's open bar and light food. Always a great time, and we're just very thankful for our clients. So we look forward to seeing you year after year. Have a great day. Take care.
So we have that night we had about 1,000 people out. This is, as you get through it. Just shows anywhere from entry to point of, we give them a ticket, we give them a wristband so they can get food, because we had people that were walking through and coming into parties before, and we weren't sure who they were or whatever else. So we got a little bit more organized this past year, especially when you get that many people through and you get, a $20,000 bar and restaurant tab. So you want to make sure that the people are coming back over and over, and it's people that you know. So, it's a great night. What were you gonna say?
I was just laughing. So you don't open it up to the neighborhood. It's just people you know.
Yeah, exactly. Just our past clients, current clients, somebody that's getting ready to do a transaction with us, or thinking about using us for business, because we want to be out in front of them again and again and again. We want to be that top of mind, and it's kind of like McDonald's or Chick-fil-A. I'd like to be the Chick-fil-A of fast food when it comes to real estate. I want people thinking of us as that top of mind more than anything else. So it's a great time right before the
holiday. It looks like a first-class event. How do you pull this off? I mean, did you start out with this big of an event? I mean, this is serious.
No, we started out, I think the first year we had about 50 people to it, and we just did it at our office. We had, like I said, just some light food, cookies, cider, nothing important, nothing super important. It was more about the relationship. Now it's more about getting out in front of them. It's turned, it's 10, 11 years later that it turns into, 1,000 people coming, and you have, a huge bar bill. But people come, they stay. You get a few people that come in, grab their pie and leave, but a lot of them make a night out of it, and they're there from like 4 to 8 o'clock, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And just great to be in front of them.
Yeah, I was wondering, is it surprising to you how many of your clients know each other? Is there like a network that builds within your own group?
Yep, a lot of people that are in certain neighborhoods, we'll make sure they meet each other. That's part of the sign-in too, so we can get our admin staff letting them know, like, hey, you also live in Bully Rock, or this one lives in Bel Air, and so forth. So the more we connect, and then we also have a lot of our vendors there as well, which help participate in the expense, and that gives them time back in front of the client again. Some of them are contractors, plumbers, electrician, general contractors, so they need some repairs. They get to talk to that contractor again, and the contractor gets to talk to the client, get back in front of them. So it's a great night.
So is there any circumstance or environment where you would stop doing Pi Day? I mean, is that the only event you do?
No, that's our biggest event. We used to do movies constantly. We would do that every year. That was a big event for it. That used to be our biggest event. But since they went to more of the theater type seating, we couldn't get 400 people in a theater. Now it's down to 200. So we haven't done it the last couple of years. So we do more small happy hours. We'll do different breweries, restaurants, stuff of that sort. We're just getting out, and that's more about our top 50, staying in front of them. So my agents will call through. They'll get 5 to 10 of their top 50 at each of our event, and then at their Thanksgiving pie, it's, hey, it's all no holds barred. Get as many people as you can through the door just to see them again.
It's awesome.
And then this
so tell us about your web strategy.
Yeah, so website, me and Bob are both with Matt Wagner and Radio and TV Experts, and we've been doing the guaranteed sale for about 10 years now. And we also added instant offer. We'll buy it within a 3-week period of time. So I have rental properties, I'll have investment flips, and it just gives opportunity for us. And then, some people want easy, so they'll take a little bit of a discount. It's about 20% discount, 25%, that we'll go in and offer them less, and they just want to be done with it. No home inspections, no nothing. We just go in, we settle it, and buy it in 3 weeks. If you don't have the funds to do it, you can also get with investors. I'm sure there's plenty of investors in every market, so that gives you opportunity to, get that client and then get a sale again. Because on our flips, I'll buy them, we'll fix them up, and then we'll turn around and sell them, so we get multiple transactions out of it as well. So just an opportunity to make money in this business.
I think we could spend a whole call just on the whole iBuyer, instant offers, Zillow offers, the companies that are out there giving the perception that the client can sell their house for the same price as if they were to put it on the market with an agent. And you've put yourself in the middle of that. How's that affected your listing appointments? When you advertise that you can do instant offers and that you can close it in 3 weeks, how's that affected your ability to get appointments?
Well, it just gives another lead generation tool. So it gives my agents opportunity to sit down and talk to somebody. And maybe that's not the best avenue, but they can explore, hey, we have our instant offer, we have our guaranteed sale, or we have our regular strategy of what we're going to do to sell your house and for top dollar. Do you want that, or do you want easy? It just depends on them. Some of them are just, they've been on the market, they're tired, they don't want to deal with it, they just want to sell it. We have occasions where people are going into assisted living and they need, it's an older dated house, and they don't want to do any repairs. So this gives them, again, another opportunity. They're not selling it on the street to an investor for 60 cents on the dollar. We're paying them around 75. So it's a win-win for both sides. I'll keep some of them as rentals, and again, others will fix up and sell. And that's,
well, I love that you're doing that. I think there's a lot of interest there.
Yeah. Yeah, and we don't have iBuyers in our market because of basements and such a diversity in homes. So it gives us, again, more opportunity. And then you had mentioned about, how do you get celebrities, like other celebrities. So we had like Gary LeVox from Rascal Flatts, Barbara Corcoran, and then all the other stations are whoever that disc jockey is that's been the trusted advisor for those radio stations does endorsement ads for us. So you can, reach out, you can get somebody in your market to do endorsement ads for you, especially with video now. You get, a past client that was, somewhat celebrity status, film a video, post it on Facebook, put it on your website, just so people are seeing that you are helping clients, you're out in the market and doing things for clients. You're selling, it's all about the activities and results, post the results.
Yeah, I love it. It doesn't have to be a Barbara Corcoran. It could be a local radio DJ, someone who people listen to and trust. And I think it's really important that you bring that up because until you have the money to really go big with your marketing, you have to start somewhere, and you can start with radio. A lot of people think radio and TV is dead. They think direct mail doesn't work. What's your thoughts on all that?
Radio and TV, radio provides much more to us than TV. TV does well. That's more branding for us. We get good return, but we get a better return with radio, so that's fantastic. Print ad, we do more. We use Core Fact for our just listed and just sold cars, so you can track, when people are looking of, are they thinking about selling a house and so forth. You get an email from them, and then you can also log into the website and see what they're actually, all their information to follow back up with them. And then we'll use a bomb video, send it back to them as well. Just, hey, just checking in. I see that you had inquired about the value of your house. Do you have any specific questions for us, or would you like me to set an appointment to come out? That previous screen was, so that's our marketing menu. That is our.
Sorry, I got a sticky finger.
Yeah, no problem. This is our featured listings, which was, we really templated this more on coming soon, but because of NAR and local, our bright MLS and stuff, some of that's changing. It's just a sore subject for us now. But now we're just having to market differently on our featured listings and coming soon to pre-market them, because we were always co-oping and working with agents, and I knew that some weren't and use it as a pocket listing. We're actually trying to get our sellers some pre-marketing out there, and now they're doing away with some of that. So we're just kind of fighting through that at the moment. The next screen was that was our moving truck. So we have 2 moving trucks that we give our clients to use for free. We have packing boxes. There we go. So on the left-hand side is our closing gifts. We do Yeti tumblers. We'll do, there's koozies, there's chip clip, can opener, and a couple other tchotchke stuff, pens. The middle one is our boxes. So we use BizBox Inc. We've been using them since 2008. They're great. They give all branded boxes sent to your client's door. So if you look in the background of that, you see it's wrapped in plastic, and they'll ship them to your client's door for 30 boxes. Glass pack, marker, tape is about $111. So we offer that to all our clients, but they're all branded with our information on there, as our phone number and so forth. And we see they're all double layer boxes. A lot of cases they get passed down to aunts, uncles, cousins, daughters, brothers, all that. We just see it go through the family because they're nicer boxes, so they hate to throw them away. Plus they're all branded with our information. I had a client that moved to Denver. That was his 5th move, and he sent me a picture, and it was Remax boxes that we had. He's like, I still got your boxes, and here it's 5 moves later. So they are sticky, and they stand out.
Awesome.
And then the one on the right is all local stuff that was Maryland in that box. That's after somebody signs a listing agreement, we get our courier to go drop it on their doorstep, and it's chocolates and popcorn and nuts and stuff of that sort. It's just more of a thank you. Or when we go on a listing appointment and we haven't gotten it yet, we'll either do Spoonful of Comfort, where we send them soup, or flowers, so we stand out and be different and get a leg up on our competition of, what are you doing differently to stand out? So I know we're getting.
Yeah, I hope everybody's picking this up. Yeah, I hope everybody's picking up the differentiation. It's not that Lee and Bob have these brilliant ideas. It's that they execute them consistently in everything that they do, and they create this movement around their brand so that the consumer, when they have an opportunity to interact with them, has an exceptional experience, whether it's the moving box or a TV or radio ad or a viral video or a bomb video. They all have consistency in their marketing. It's all exceptional, and it's very impressive.
Yeah, this is just instant offer where they can go in and put their information. I would take them to the next screen, I think is the next slide, and it gives them just a brief overview of what we do. Once they submit their information, they'll get within 24 to 48 hours. We'll send them, an agent will be out, give them a value on the house. My agents are going out taking pictures, sending them to me, giving me the comps that they ran and what they think it would sell for, and then we back out of that and get to our number. So, which is the next step.
And how many properties, I mean, what kind of opportunity is it really generating for you?
I mean, a few $100,000 in the last couple months. So I bought 6 homes in October and November. So working on one in December. So just, again, no other opportunity, and those are just ones that I bought, not including the ones that we are listing. So, and it's not for everybody. So some people want the easy button and other people want to get top dollar. So I always ask them, what's the most important? Is it time or money? Or if it's kind of both, then hey, you're going to have to do improvements to the house. You're going to have to paint, you're going to have to carpet, and you're going to have to kind of rehab the house to get it up to that yourself. Some of it will also offer to lend that money to them. We'll have them sign a promissory note that they're going to list with us. I don't charge any additional money, but we'll lend them, you know, $5,000 to $7,000 to do paint and carpet. Sometimes if it's more, but it's per occasion, but somewhere in that $5,000 is not a problem that we'll lend to each client. And again, that just gets more tie-in. Not going what we haven't anybody burnish yet, but we do get a promissory note signed that they're agreeing that they're going to repay us, or it's going to get, you know, then, and there's no interest while it's on the market. It's only if they take it off the market.
You're truly partnering with your clients.
Correct. Yeah, we're trying to get them top dollar, so we're giving them multiple ways to go. It's just a matter of what they want.
So this screen, I haven't seen this before, Lee. It's just talk about the different talking points.
Yeah, so this is all about, this is instant offer versus traditional. So hey, do you want, you know, more dollar? You looking for top dollar, but may take a little bit more time. Hey, we'll do traditional way. Then you have the instant offer that will give you an offer right away, as is, no appraisals. It's a full cash offer. And the other thing that I want to tell most of you guys out there is, if you're not at that point yet, you know, can you do a home equity line on your house? Can you, you know, create commercial lines of credit? You know, depending on what you have, can you do? There's a IDOT where you can secure liens against other properties that you own or your personal residence. So it's all baby steps. I had to go through securing a IDOT against my house on my first investment property because I didn't have a ton of money down. And then now it's at a point where we have $2 million in lines of credit. So it's baby steps. It's always one step at a time. Don't think you're getting all the way to the forefront. It's a step, it's a step, it's a step. How do you eat an elephant? You know, one bite at a time. And this is
I always say it depends on how hungry I am.
Exactly. So and then the other one is our guaranteed sell. We'll guarantee to sell it or we'll buy it. So I have a couple that are under contract on that now. So if they don't sell, then I'll buy it, and it's usually within a 120-day time frame. And each market's different. It could be, you know, our average days is, you know, around 60 days on the market here. So if we don't sell it in 120 days, then I'll buy it. Sometimes I'll speed it up depending on the client or how bad I would like to buy the property.
Yeah. So Lee, have you always been doing 100 houses? I mean, to the agent who's doing, you know, 7 and they want to go to 20, what are some of the places you tell them to start? What are the 2 or 3 things you'd say, hey, start here?
So if you don't have an assistant, you're the assistant. So first thing I would say, try to hire an assistant or share one between a couple other agents in your office. When you do a listing appointment, make sure you send an invite to that assistant so they can help hold you accountable and find out where you're at, or create a spreadsheet for yourself on all the listing appointments that you go on, because listings, you need listings to last. So on those spreadsheets, which I have back farther too, if you go to another slide in, I think it's 1 or 2 slides more. One more. There we go. So this is our green sheet tracker. We do seller intake forms are all green because green's money. They stand out when they're on my agent's desk or my desk. So I would say do something different. Get a ream of green paper, print them out, fill out your green sheets as your seller intake form. Send an invite to your assistant by calendar invite. Make sure that they follow up with you. Hey, how did that appointment go? Let them follow up with the client to see if they got all the information, or you to follow up. Because one of my other coaching clients, I was talking to him, he would be one and done. He'd go to an appointment, never follow up again, and he was selling 150 homes himself. I said, all right, well, how do you get that better? Let's either you call him back again if you haven't signed him, or have your assistant. So most of them he's calling himself. If not, his assistant will call, hey, how did the appointment go? Did you get all the information you need, or is there anything else that you didn't get? Do you have any other questions? Do you need more information about the market? What is it that you need that you didn't get, or reason you didn't sign with us yet? And some of them will say, oh yeah, no, I'm ready to go now. So it's that follow-up. That follow-up is where we make our money. What else?
Absolutely, and it doesn't matter what your volume is. It's so funny when I see questions and people are like, "Well, you guys are doing all these houses. Of course, you can play at a bigger level," but everybody starts at zero. And so, Lee, how long have you been selling real estate?
January will be my 14th year.
14th year, and the first 5 years in the business, what did you do differently?
I was the main. Let's see, my first year I sold 36 homes. The second year went to 46, but I added an assistant. So I'd say, and then the third year I went to 64, which is adding another assistant. And then in 2013 I did 289 units as a team. I did 138. That was more assistants helping with the transaction and then team. So you're adding people, you're leveraging with people, but you also need to make sure you're doing the most dollar productive activities.
I don't know where that audio is coming from. I think somebody put us on hold.
Okay. I don't know if anybody can hear me over.
Okay, now it's gone. I don't know where that was from. That was awesome.
So what was your question again? I'm sorry, I got distracted with that.
Yeah, like the first 5 years, what are some of the things? I was going to ask Bob the same question. Do this final slide with me, Lee, and then I'll open up for a couple of questions that we have from the group.
This is just our Boomtown site. So again, you got to capture as many buyers as you can and then have them in a tool that you remember to follow up with them. Boomtown is a great site for us as follow-up. Homes.com has theirs, Zillow, just whatever you're doing, just be consistent more than anything else. And 5 to 12 contacts per lead, because so many people are one and done, or 48% don't get followed up with. Make sure you're following up on these leads. Keep calling more than anything else. Call, text, email, video, all those things are getting you to the next level.
Yeah, I love that, and it's not a volume thing. You do the basic fundamentals. You call, you follow up, you do the right things, and then you create amazing experiences. And I love that you talked about really being an expert and being a master of your craft. Of all the things you talked about on this call, the slide about being a master of your craft and being better at it than everybody else. I think that's why both of you stand out as agents, is because you're masters of your craft. Bob, if you had one or two things that you would tell any agent that is trying to increase the volume they do from a listing perspective, what would be the one or two things that you would say start here? And I think Bob's muted, so let me unmute him.
There we
go.
Bob. Yep. So whether it's buyer or seller, my first 2 years in the business, I would show property and never do follow-up. I never had a system in place to do that follow-up, which took me 2 years and lots of thousands upon thousands of dollars. So I share with it to everybody. If you've got Outlook or you've got a Google Calendar, use that. It's free as long as you're using it. Use that to log the client, the phone number, even what homes you showed them or the listing address of that you went on, and then move that to a couple of days later in the year or a couple of weeks or months later, so that it reminds you to follow up on those people. Then get into the habit of every day going back to the calendar and seeing what you need to do that day and get it done before you go to sleep. You will find it will exponentially increase your bottom line on a daily basis, and you will sleep better because you know you haven't dropped anything through the cracks, which is what I did, and I'm so glad I made the decision to use a calendar entry. It's simple and it works.
One of the other things that I'm thinking, conferences, that's where I met Bob, but
Yep.
The more conferences that you go to, I'm not saying just go spend all your time, just be choosy, go to a good conference. January we have Leverage coming up in Orlando, with Workman. Look at stuff like that, or CRS, or what else that or maybe you're working with a larger company, KW, Remax, Better Homes and Gardens, whatever it may be. Go surround yourself with those top agents. They're going to be willing to share information with you. So many times I was able to go and get information from other agents there and dig a little deeper, because you don't get all of it in the conference itself. Maybe you go to dinner or go to the bar and you have deeper conversations about them. So do that. Get out and about and network.
Yeah, I do appreciate that, and thanks for the leverage plug coming up in January, and we'll send you more information about that. For those of you who want a copy of today's webinar, and you would like a copy of both Lee and Bob's Top 50 Tracker, it's how they track their top 50 touches, and a copy of the ebook 8651, How to Close 86 Transactions, working with 50 people 1 hour a day, go to workmansuccess.com/listmaster, and you'll receive all the free giveaways. On behalf of RISMedia, Homes.com, and Workman Success Systems, Lee and Bob, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, as always, for all the information that you share and give. Bob, if somebody wanted to send you a referral to Louisville, where would they send an email?
Bob at WeSellLouisville.com. That's simple. Bob at WeSellLouisville.
And Lee, how about you?
Mine's just Lee at LeeTessier.com, Tessier. And we cover all the Baltimore metro area.
Well, thanks again for being here. Homes.com, we appreciate all your support in helping these RISMedia webinars become a success, and we look forward to more in 2020. We'll talk to you all later. Thanks for joining us today.
Bye.